Welcome to another edition of a week of mass shootings. There were 9 mass shootings reported from December 18th through December 24th, and we passed our 2022 total of 646 mass shootings on December 23rd, and we hit the 650 mark this year on December 24th. So there were no mass shootings on the 18th or 19th. And we go to the 20th of December in Philadelphia, where 1 was killed and 3 injured. And this was the 21st mass shooting for Philadelphia this year. 1 adult male was killed, a teen male and a 22-year-old male and a 23-year-old female were all injured. It happened at 7 p.m. on Wednesday night, and these guys were just standing on the street when someone opened fire on them. On December 21st in Washington, D.C., 2 were killed and 2 injured. In the 11th mass shooting for Washington, D.C. this year, adult male and an adult female were killed and 2 adult males were injured. And this one was a drive-by. And the suspects were driving a white Jeep Grand Cherokee. The car was carjacked in Northwest D.C. earlier that day. This happened at 11:45 a.m., this drive-by, and the victims were standing outside a Friendly Foods market when a car pulled up and fired a couple dozen rounds at them. On December 22nd in Queens, New York City, 1 was killed and 3 injured, and this was the 10th one for New York City and the first one for Queens this year. A 33-year-old male was killed, and 3 adult males between 29 and 39 years old were injured. And they're calling this one gang involvement, so you won't see this one on the FBI mass shootings list. Happened around 3:15 in the afternoon, and all 4 were standing around a vehicle when someone approached and opened fire on them. You'll notice a pattern in all 3 of these, that the people that were the victims were just standing around outside and someone came by and shot them. All right, we go to December 23rd in Baltimore, Maryland, where 1 was killed and 4 injured. This was the 11th one for Baltimore this year. It happened at 4 a.m. All the victims were adults, and police are focused on 1 vehicle with bullet holes, and over 30 bullets were fired. Also on December 23rd in Fort Worth, Texas, 1 was killed and 4 injured. This is the 4th one for Fort Worth this year. Happened at 11 p.m. And it started with an argument over some missing items from a home. And the argument continued outside and multiple people started firing shots. Also on December 23rd in Seattle, Washington, 5 were injured. And this is the 4th one this year for Seattle. The victims were 1 female and 4 males, all adults aged 25 to 34 years old. Happened in the Pioneer Square neighborhood, which isn't an overly bad neighborhood of Seattle, and it happened just before 3 a.m. Okay, December 24th in Colorado Springs, 1 was killed and 3 injured, and this is the 2nd one for Colorado Springs this year. Happened at the Citadel Mall. All adult males were the victims. It happened around 4:34 p.m., and basically it was a fight between 2 groups, and it was said that this one might be downgraded from a mass shooting down to a shootout. So I guess they don't count shootouts as mass shootings when 2 groups of people shoot each other, even if 4 people die, which doesn't make sense, but that's what they said. They might downgrade it to a shootout, which I guess then it wouldn't count. So December 24th in Houston, Texas, 1 was killed and 4 injured, and this is the 11th one for Houston this year. Happened at the Nollins D Shop bar. 20-year-old Isaiah Paker was killed. All the victims were adult males in their late teens to early 20s. Happened around 3 a.m. And this one began as an argument inside the Houston bar or nightclub, whatever you want to call it. And at least 2 people began shooting at each other. December 24th in Orlando, Florida, 1 was killed and 4 injured. And this is the 4th one for Orlando this year. 1 adult female was killed and 4 adult males were injured. Happened at 2:23 a.m. at an apartment complex. The police think that this one was a targeted shooting. And this one was the 650th mass shooting this year. So we had 3 on Christmas Eve this year. Last year we only had 1 on Christmas Eve. And last year we didn't have any on Christmas. And I'm doing this video late Christmas Day. And so far none have been reported on Christmas Day yet this year. But that'll get in next week's video if there are any. All of the Christmas Eve ones happened between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. So they all happened very early in the morning. And of the 9 mass shootings this last week, 4 there were really no reason given other than people were standing on the street corner and someone started shooting at them. 1 was listed as a drive-by, 1 was listed as gang involvement, and 3 began because of an argument. So a third of all of these started because of an argument. And that's a third when we don't even know what the reason for 4 of them was. This is a weekly video, so if you like this type of content, hit that like button, leave your thoughts in the comments, and consider subscribing. And I'll catch you next week.